Hi, this is Corinne and Alex from ACCA Reptile Geeks, and today we're going to be showing you why ball pythons make good pets and what you should choose for your first pet. Right, this is our new background. It's Aztec, and this is Glenn, and on Aztec thing, what is is that his
We
tongue?
don't know if
Is that his
it's
tongue
a
sticking out?
tongue or his hand.
I don't know. We just found this in the garage, but anyways, this is our snake Len, and ball pythons make such good pets because they're docile.
They rarely bite. If they do bite, it's because you're doing something that they don't like.
Yeah, you're abrogating. How do you say it?
Abrogating.
No,
agitated.
agitating them.
Agitated.
Agitating them, or yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. They're not expensive at all.
No.
How much did you get this one from?
I get this for $40, but that's the max you're gonna get it from.
Like no, he got it for $40 from Petco.
Yeah.
But at Petco, they're like $80. But he had the card and everything. If you go to a reptile expo, you can get one for $15. So I mean, like, you just have to look really, really close.
And it's best to buy them from breeders because you know they are born in captivity, not like Petco or PetSmart.
Yeah, but Petco and PetSmart, you can't bag on them because some of them do take good care of their animals. I mean, like this guy, we got him from Petco, and he's just
He's
the
healthy and
awesome, best awesome pet ever. But I mean, there's two sides to the story. I mean, if you go to a breeder, you can find a breeder that won't sell to a person unless they know their animal's going to a good home. There are breeders that only breed animals to make money. You know, and there's some stores. Remember when we went to, what was it called?
Pet Depot.
Yeah, Pet Depot, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like, remember that snake?
Yeah. When snakes shed, they get darker, but this one looked crusty.
It looked so bad. Like there was a pastel in there, and we were thinking about buying it and everything, but it said there was a different price on there, and we're like, oh, there's another snake in there, and we looked around, and then we found one. This snake, it didn't even look like a snake. It looked like a damn log or something like that. And we had to look
Deformed
close.
snake.
Yeah, it was disgusting. Like that snake looked so bad, undernourished. It was underweight and
I was
everything.
about to cry, to tell the truth. I was really about to cry.
Yeah, and the pastel, he was beautiful and everything, but he looked underweight too. He not once that we saw him, he was sticking out his tongue. And if your snake doesn't stick out its tongue, well, I understand if it's focused on something and then it doesn't stick out your tongue. But I mean, like, this snake was moving and not sticking out his tongue. Probably had a respiratory infection or something like that. And we went to the little feeder mice section.
Yeah.
There was this rat with a deformed nut. Like, we didn't know if it was a baby or
pregnant or
it had like one big A nut. I was like, his mom comes up and he's like, oh, look at his huevos, they're so big. And then I was like, oh, that's so natural. One of them was really small. One of them was like 3 nuts combined.
Anyways.
It was disgusting. Don't go to Pet Depot. Those animals are disgusting over there. Well, the one here in Houston, Texas, it's like retarded. Oh my god, it was like in Missouri City, right?
Yeah.
Don't ever go there.
So
Their animals are bad.
anyways.
Alright, these animals don't get too big.
No, as you can see here, he's like a foot and a half.
Yeah.
But
he's a baby too.
Yeah, so males average to 4 feet, females average to 5. There have been some snakes ball pythons recorded to be up to 6 feet, but that's really rare. So
Yeah.
they
And
average up to 4 feet. That's it.
These are low maintenance. You don't have to clean their tank every day.
You just do spot clean.
Yeah, if he urinates or whatever.
Yeah.
Clean his water. Just make sure his water's clean. If his water's clean, you have to clean it every day.
Yeah.
You can hold him every once in a while to make sure he's tame. But when he's eating, you should leave him alone for at least a day or 2 days.
Yeah. You don't want to stress him out.
They're good handling, right?
Yeah.
When they handle them, they're awesome pets to handle. They're
It feels weird at first, but you know you get used to it.
as long as at first when I fed Glenn, I was scared to hold him because this is the first snake I feel comfortable with. Before I was like, oh my god, Alex, take your snake back. But now it's like I can just hold him and
She was about to
it's
drop
like,
it.
It's like whatever. This snake is awesome. Like he's an awesome snake. Yeah, and they only feed once a week.
Or twice a week. We feed Glenn once a week. We feed him hoppers.
Yeah.
But
they're frozen thaw. We don't feed them live because
it's dangerous. The rat or whatever you're feeding him, he could take a huge chunk of bite on his body.
A
And
huge
everything.
chunk of bite.
You know what I'm talking
Huge
about.
chunk of meat from your snake, which is kind of nasty. That sounds disgusting. But yeah, you
Yeah.
want your snake to be
And if you don't know what size of food you want to get him, just check the mid part of his body, the thick part of his body, and just make sure the food is just a little bit bigger than the thick part of his body. You know.
Yeah, you don't want to give him an adult rat. That's too much for him.
Yeah, and he could explode.
That's disgusting.
He could explode. There was a snake that ate a crocodile and he exploded.
I really needed to know that.
Too bad. Anyways, but
now
as it gets bigger, you can feed him like when he gets bigger. When I'm feeding him adult rats, I'm probably gonna feed him once every 2 weeks. And then some people, when they get to 5 or 4 feet, they feed him once or twice a month. So the more he grows, the less you have to feed him.
Yeah, this is a pretty good snake, and my battery is about to run out, so I need to go pretty fast about how to pick a pet. You have to pick a pet by the by what you want. If you want a pet that you want to handle, if you want a pet you can cuddle with, I mean, get a bearded dragon, get a Apollo python, but if don't get a chameleon. Those things don't like to be handled. So and make sure if you buy a snake, make sure there's nothing hanging out of his mouth. Make sure his mouth closes, because if he's opening his mouth a lot, it means he's trying to breathe with his mouth open. Make sure bubbles aren't coming out of his nose. He has all his scales. He doesn't have scale rots or patches. If he's a rescue, of course, he might have scars and everything. But that's pretty much it. Bearded dragons, make sure their mouth are closed as well. You practically already know. So, alright. I gotta go because I need to save this video. But anyways, rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Bye.